Hi everyone, for today's video I'm just going to be playing with makeup, and I've been actually wanting to do this last week, but the weather here has been so horrible. It has been raining so hard, and if I try to attempt to record anything, the rain and the wind just drowns out the audio. And like, even though if today is a very gloomy day and if it's still raining, I'm just so glad that it's not that strong that I'm actually able to record some audio. So I've actually been wanting to do this for the past few days now, mainly because I just wanted to play with makeup with my most recent hauls, and some of the makeup that I bought before my previous haul, and I just wanted to try and see if it works well in synergy with the products that I have in my collection. And also one other thing, as I mentioned in my previous haul video, that I have been waiting for a delivery from Beautylish, and I'm happy to say that it actually arrived already, and I'm also going to show that to you guys today. Alright, I don't have any plan for what kind of makeup look I'm going for today, but I just want to play and create a look based on all the products that I got. And I'm actually using artificial light today because, again, as I've said, there's no sun. So pardon if there's something off with the lighting. I don't really actually like using artificial light when I'm shooting because I don't like the whiteness that we see that's reflecting off of my skin. But anyway, let's start. So I have my skincare down. I have moisturizer, I have eye cream, I have vitamin C serum, but I don't have sunscreen on because I ran out of sunscreen. So after this video, I'm gonna go and pop to the store to get my favorite sunscreen. Now first, I'm gonna start by using my Lisa Eldridge Elevated Glow Highlighter. Because this is a biopolymer, I talked about that in my review video for her seamless skin release. And the reason why I'm using this now, before I'm applying like foundation, is because this has like a mesh type of a technology wherein it actually tightens skin. And I find that if I use this on top of foundation or powder, I don't feel my skin tighten at all. So if you have Lisa Eldridge's Elevated Glow Highlighter, I think it's best to use this with layers. And you should always start by applying a very thin layer of the Elevated Glow Highlighter right after your skincare, before your foundation, so that you get this tightening sensation. So I'm just patting in the product on the highest point of my cheekbones, right under this area where I have my crow's feet, and we just wait for 3 minutes for that to set, and then it does its magic. Alright, so I think that's good now. We can see that my skin is quite highlighted, especially at this part, so that's great. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to apply some foundation, and I'm going to be using Maybelline's Fit Me Matte and Poreless. I love this foundation. So with the Sonia G Base 1 brush, I'm just going to add a very thin layer of this foundation all over my skin. Alright, so next what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use some blush. I'm going to start with Lisa Eldridge's Enlivening Blush, and this is in Pink Poetry. Now the reason why I'm using Pink Poetry is because okay, so there's an accident with my Enlivening Blush. The product actually squirted out from the base of the tube here. It's now on my finger, so I would have to transfer this to a different packaging now. And this is such a waste of product. But if this happens to you, I think just transfer the product into a different packaging. I think I have an airless pump somewhere here, so I'm going to transfer all of the product there because I don't want this to go to waste. Now anyway, so the reason why I'm wanting to use Pink Poetry is because it's one of the colors that I've hardly used, like even for myself or even for work. And this is a cream blush, and I love cream blushes. And I'm just using my fingers and gently building the intensity that I want and into the color payoff that I also want. So I'm just adding a very thin layer of this color in my cheeks. And also one of the main reasons why I'm using Pink Poetry today is because it's very gray and it's very drab. So we just need to have like that nice pop of color on the face so that it just brightens the face, enlivens the face. Okay, so I'm gonna add that now here on my other cheek. Okay, so that's the blush down, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some concealer, and I'm going to be using my Laura Mercier Secret Camouflage Duo, and I'm just going to be applying a very thin layer of this product at the areas where I need it. So, and usually it's always in the inner corner of the eyes. So applying the products here and blending it from this area just really helps in opening up everything. And I'm just using this Worker Pro brush. Is this Worker Pro? Yeah, this is the Worker Pro brush from Sonia G, and I'm just tapping the product and blending it at the same time. Right, and on the brighten side, I'm just gonna add a little bit of that just to help brighten up everything. And I'm just using the same brush that I used earlier for the initial application of concealer. And I'm just using it in a tapping motion to blend it out and to layer it out properly. Alright, and before I set everything with powder, I'm just gonna add a little bit of the Elevated Glow highlighter from Eldridge, just so that we have that pop of color. And this also helps to blend out the blush well into the skin. It also creates a very nice, like, you know, a layered look. The birds are coming out. Yay! This is a good sign. Okay, so I'm just gonna set the concealer first with some loose powder so that it stays in place. Okay, so I'm gonna set some parts of my face, and I'm gonna be using my Chikuhodo MK2 brush, and I'm just gonna lightly tap the brush into the areas where I want to tone down shine. And you know, I don't really need to like put powder all over my face because the foundation that I'm using is the Fit Me Matte and Poreless. So this kind of sets down into a matte finish, so we really don't need to apply some powder. Now, one of the main questions that I get from friends is that, like, they would tell me like, hey, I know that you like using cream blushes, but how do you make it last? And so that's one thing that I'm going to address today. Now, usually after I have set the cream blush with powder, I instantly look for a powder blush in my collection that almost has the same tone as a cream blush, and this is what I actually use to intensify the color or even to make it last longer, because you know, powder sets everything down. So what I have here right now is this blush from Mercier. It's called Strawberry. I showed this to you guys in my recently hauled video, but I didn't use it on camera, so I would like to use that now. But although, like, if we swatch it a little bit, it has a little bit of like a white pigment to it, and it's a little bit lighter than the cream blush of Eldridge, but we will remedy that in a while. So I loaded a very thin layer of the color here on the brush, and I'm just going to lightly brush it on the area where I applied the blush. And because this is a lighter shade or a lighter color, it's even cooler. This will also act as like a diffusing agent, wherein it diffuses the edges of the brighter shade of Eldridge's blush. And what I like doing next is that if I find that the blush color has toned down a bit, I go back into the cream blush that I used, and you know, with very light strokes. So I'm actually diffusing the color at the back of my hand here. At the very tip of my finger, I'm just building the intensity slowly, and it gives us a very nice layered color and intensity on the cheeks. Again, I'm very careful when I am layering this. It's because, you know, there's already like powdered product on the face. So I'm just using very light tapping motions just so that I do not disturb any of the powder products on my cheeks at the moment. Alright, so that's the blush. I'm quite happy with that. And I'm gonna check back on this later after I've done everything, because cream blushes have a tendency of melting into the skin. So as I've said in my recently hauled video, I was waiting for a delivery from Beautylish, and they finally arrived. So I have with me some products from Charlotte Tilbury. So I know these products are not new, but Charlotte Tilbury is a brand that is new to me. And I have two of her Eyes to Mesmerize colors here with me. One is in rose gold, and the other one is in amber gold. So at first when I saw this, when I opened it from the packaging, I was like, it looks horrible. But I'm so glad to say that I think this is how the product is. It looks very whipped and like mousse-like. It's like an icing on top of the cake. But I'm also so glad that it doesn't really drop down from the packaging because I was so worried with that when I first saw it. So I'm gonna try this on my eyes today, but before that happens, let's gonna swatch that first. So this is rose gold. That's a very nice rosy hue, and this is amber gold. Okay, so it's a little bit of like a very nice yellowy gold, so it's very benefiting for the name. And it's so funny because when I purchased this and when I got the alert that it was out for delivery, Charlotte Tilbury actually released 2 new colors, and I was like, but I really don't mind that I got these 2 colors, especially this rose gold one, because I have been on the hunt for a very nice rose gold color, because I vlogged about this a few months ago. I can't remember exactly when, but I'm gonna put a link down below if you're interested. But I have been on the lookout for a nice rose gold eyeshadow color because there was a time that my favorite eyeshadow was this rose gold color. This was a cream eyeshadow from Mercier, which was released like more than a decade ago. And I'm gonna show you guys how it looks like on my skin. So they never have this color anymore, and if we just swatch it here, so as you can see, it has a very nice rosy golden hue, which is like, if we compare it to the rose gold here of Charlotte Tilbury, it's not the same because the Charlotte Tilbury color is lighter. The old Laura Mercier cream eyeshadow is more vibrant, and I like the tone of it more because this one is just too light. Now, as I've said, I have been on a hunt for a color very similar to this that I actually also bought one of the Chanel liquid eyeshadows. So this is the Premier Laque, and this is in the color Rose Quartz. So it's still not the same, it's almost within the same color family, but I'm still looking for a color similar to this very old Laura Mercier Rose Gold cream eyeshadow. They don't make this anymore. Even in their Caviar 6, they don't have this anymore. Too bad. Alright, so I'm going to start with the Amber Gold Cream Eye Color. And I just loaded the product here at the very tip of this brush, and I'm just gonna buff it lightly all over my eyes. I do have to say it's very easy to blend, and it spreads very nicely. The texture feels very nice on the skin. I'm just gonna remove some of that, and I'm just gonna buff it and spread it. Wow, that's a nice color. Let's try it on the other side. And I'm gonna add some of that color into my lower lash line here. Okay, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a little bit of this rose gold color here in the middle of my eyelids, just so that we have a nice pop of color. So one thing though that I do have to say is that we have to be very careful when we're applying it because of its very creamy nature, and it gives us so much playtime that you can take your time when you are actually using this eyeshadow product from her. And I can also see that there's no creasing going on my eyes at the moment, which is actually a great indication, because this means that this has potential. And I didn't use any eye base today, so this is quite promising. The only thing that I'm having issues with is that this amber gold color is a little bit too yellow for me, and it's not doing anything in making my eye shape come out. It's just like blending into my skin, so I think I need to find a much more either deeper or a much more vibrant gold cream color from her Eyes to Mesmerize line, and I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna find a color which is a little bit much more bronzy, or it has a reddish tint to it. But other than that, this is good. This is good, I have to say. Alright, so I'm just applying some mascara now for added dimension, because I don't want to add any like matte eyeshadows. I don't want to use any eyeliners as well, because I just want to see the overall impact that this eyeshadow product looks on me. Right, so the mascara is down and it's adding a very nice dimension to my eyes, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to apply some brow product, and I'm using my trusted lingering eyebrow brow pencil from MAC, and I'm just filling in the gaps. So the weather has been so horrible the past few days, like it's been more than a week now. I haven't seen the sun. Well, there was like one time that I was able to see the sun for like a few hours, and I thought that the monsoon season has kind of subsided, but it's just been too wet and too rainy recently. And also it's because I haven't done the laundry in a few days, and you know, I don't have a dryer here at my house. So I do everything the old-fashioned way, like we hang things under the sun. So I'm really hoping that this monsoon season won't carry on far too long, because it can also lead to flooding here. So like that's quite scary, especially if I need to go to work. There have been times that I had to avoid floodwaters just so that I get to work. And what I want to do right now is I just want to add some warmth to my skin, and I want to try using this Matte Radiance Baked Bronzer from Mercier. I'm just adding some of the bronzer in the outer perimeters of my face, in some parts of my cheekbones. But I'm just making sure that I don't apply a lot of the bronzer because I don't want to minimize the color of the blush. Yeah, I'm just sweeping it here on my lower cheeks, jawline, and on top of my nose. And I also like doing this because, you know, it's so gray, and with the gray cast of the sky, with the gray cast of the light, this like nice like yellowy bronzer just really helps in elevating the color of your skin. Alright, so now it's time for the lips, and I actually want to try these two products from Charlotte Tilbury. These are right together with my Eyes to Mesmerize order from Beautylish, and I have been so excited. I've been wanting to try these two products for the longest time because, you know, I have been very intrigued by it, and many people rave about the color of this lipstick. And I also like the shape of the bullet. It's a very novel shape, but to me, it's no biggie, because at the end of the day, this is what's going to happen to all my lipsticks anyway, so I depot them all the time. But anywho, so this is the first time that I'm trying these products out from Charlotte Tilbury. I love the packaging though. It reminds me of like a 60s kind of vibe, late 50s to like early 60s, like with a hint of 70s in it. It's a very nice packaging, very nice color too. Very cute. And looking from the color of the bullet here, it's a very nice neutral brownie pink. So this is a very flattering color, and it can work with a lot of skin tone. So I'm removing some of the lip product here on my palette, and I'm going to be applying the lipstick with a brush, and it's actually blending out quite well here on my spatula. So this should be fairly easy to apply and blend out on the lip. Wait, it has a scent to it. It's like a very vanilla kind of a scent. Very nice. And I have to say also, it's very easy to blend out this lip product on the lip. It acts like a cream lipstick because this is actually a matte formula. So I'm quite surprised with that. So I just don't know how long it takes for this lipstick to actually, like, you know, dry down and to set. And also the sensation on the lips is quite comfortable, which I like. Okay, I can feel it setting now, and it doesn't feel drying, which I like, because there are some like matte lipsticks wherein when you, the instant that you apply it, you can really feel it like, you know, drying down instantly on the lip. And there are some matte lipsticks that can be quite uncomfortable on the lip. Personally, on myself, I don't like using matte lipsticks. I would rather use like a cream lipstick because they're just more nicer and kinder on the lips. Okay, so this is a very nice lip color, very neutral, very flattering. It almost kind of looks like my lip color in some parts. So it's actually quite pigmented, that it's able to cover some of the dark areas of my lips, and it creates this very nice, like, you know, uniform color on the lips, which is actually great, which is actually nice also to have in a lip color. Although this is a very neutral kind of a pink color, as we see here on the bullet, it's actually elevating my skin tone. So it's actually, like, you know, making my skin and my lips and my face in general look like it smells so good. So this is a very nice lip color. I like this. Now I do understand now why people love this lip color so much. And the other thing also that I've noticed with this is that it doesn't feel dry. I like that. I like that. This is nice. I appreciate this lipstick for that. Okay, so let's try the lip liner. Okay, so I do love that this lip liner is the exact color of the lipstick because it just really helps in creating that nice dimension on the lip, and it also helps you to enhance your pout without, like, you know, because I work in film and TV most of the time, especially when I'm working with people in character. So it's really important for me to find a lip liner which matches the lipstick, because I can't really have lip liners that are a tad too dark than the lipstick that I am using. So truthfully, lip liners, they have been a very nice choose your own adventure kind of a journey for me in my career. And usually when I find a brand that has a lipstick and lip liner combo that, you know, matches perfectly, I'm gonna be a fan for life, and I think I'm gonna be a fan of Charlotte Tilbury for quite a long time. Alright, so I think I'm done. So for finishing touches, I just want to add some highlight here at the inner corner of my eyes. And I'm just using whatever is left of the Elevated Glow highlighter from Eldridge, just to bring some light into that part of my eye. Okay, and I'm also going to use some of that highlighter here on my brow bone area, so we blend out the edges of the eyeshadow as well. And I'm going to add some of that Elevated Glow highlighter from Eldridge here on my cheeks, so that it catches the light and brings in more light into my face on this very drab gray day. And I'm also finding that the blush is also melting into my skin, so I'm just going to add a little bit more to my cheeks just to add some pop of color, and I'm just blending it out with my fingers. I'm also noticing that the Eyes Mesmerize in Amber Gold is giving my eyes a very sooty kind of a mood, which isn't what I was going for and what I wasn't expecting with this eyeshadow. But it's actually a great way of actually getting to know her products. So I'm actually quite excited to trying out more cream eyeshadow products from Charlotte Tilbury, because I love cream eyeshadows, like super. I love them. They are a staple in my kit. Okay, I'm just gonna tone down some of that shine. So it's always here and here. Alright, so this is the complete look. What do you guys think? Let me know, okay? And I'm just so glad that the rain didn't pour down today, because that would have drowned out my audio and I would have to scrap this video. But I'm just so glad that I was able to pull this off today, and it wasn't also as gray as I was expecting it to be, so I'm also so glad with that. So anywho, if you guys have any more questions about the products that I used today, please leave them down in the comments box below and let's have a conversation about it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you're having a good day wherever you are. Bye bye.